Let's see what they're doing this time around. Ay, 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 ay. They can just not let it go, huh? German males under 45 need permission to leave the country? What is this? I'm not going to use the word, but you guys know what word I'm thinking about. All right, let's jump into it. Count Dankula to the electric boogaloo. He's funny.
German males under 45 may need military approval for long stays abroad because Germany, I believe it still has, what's it called, national service, I believe. But also the fact is that they're doing this means that Germany is anticipating something.
Yeah.
And they need all the meat for the grinder that they can get. German males aged between 17 and 45 may need to seek approval for...
Because remember, guys, we go to war. They're going to need everybody. You know, that might mean like working in a factory, working in a mine, driving a drone. Got to be ready for this stuff.
If he stays abroad, under changes introduced as part of a new law which introduced voluntary military service. Well, that's the thing is, if you're having to get permission to go abroad, it's not exactly voluntary then, is it?
Right,
The Military Service Modernisation Act, which came into force on 1st of January, aims to boost defences following threats from Russia and the aftermath of its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In a statement sent to the BBC, a Defence Ministry spokesman confirmed that males aged 17 and older were required to obtain prior approval for stays abroad lasting longer than 3 months.
How is that a free country? Right? And like, well, how are you supposed to know if you're going to be gone for 3 months or longer? Like, what if someone offers you a job or, you know, meet someone you love or whatever? There's a lot of things that could happen. You just hate Germany. Like, you're just going to tell me you're going to be leaving for 3 months and then just, like, not come back for a while? What's going to happen if you do that? Because they did use the word may need to get approval, so...
would be enforced if breached. The requirement to obtain permission had gone largely unnoticed until it was reported by the Frankfurter Rundschau newspaper on Friday. The Defence Ministry spokesman says that the regulation was intended to ensure a reliable and meaningful military registration system, adding, in the event of an emergency, we must know who may be staying abroad for an extended period. Right, in other words, get permission. That's the thing is, see when everybody starts getting their permission denied, all of a sudden, that's when all the German teenagers and 20-year-olds are going to be like, oh, nein, oh, scheiße. Basically, if all your abroad travel starts getting revoked, something's about to happen.
Yeah, right? Like, what do they know that we don't know? Their intel is telling them something. Yikes.
Get ready. Buy diesel generators, buy tinned food, etc., etc. The statement acknowledged that consequences for young people could be far-reaching and said that regulations on exemptions were being developed in part to avoid unnecessary bureaucracy. But the Germans fucking love bureaucracy. They love that. They fucking love that. They're good at like dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yeah,
they
stand in
follow
line,
every single
motherfucker.
rule to the letter.
Oh.
That also includes orders. But anyway, the legal basis for the requirement lies in Germany's 1956 Conscription Act, which has been amended several times, most recently last December. Prior to the latest amendment, the obligation to report extended stays abroad applied only if Germany was in a state of national defence or mobilisation.
Well,
which means, again, if it starts to get rejected, oh no, Scheiße, meine AirPods.
Yeah, it's funny too because they're all a bunch of stoners now.
The Defence Ministry official says that a similar provision was in effect during the Cold War and had no practical relevance. The military service because one half the country wasn't allowed to leave one half the country. The Military Service Modernisation Act sets out plans to expand the number of active personnel from around 180,000 to 260,000 by 2035. In December, the German Parliament voted to introduce voluntary military service, meaning that from January, all 18-year-olds would be sent a questionnaire asking if they were interested in joining the armed forces. Hey, buddy.
No, I just like Call of Duty.
Do you want to go die for a million billion immigrants?
The respawn is nice.
do you want to go defend a country that will do absolutely nothing while your daughters are raped and taxes you into oblivion, you little wagey? Do you want to go and fight and die for like 12 months waiting lists for the hospital? Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I love my country. Yeah. I'm sorry, there's no way to do a German accent
Silly
without
goober.
sounding like you love cock. From July 2027, they must also undergo a fitness assessment to determine whether they would be eligible for service.
Oh shit! So just like get fat, bro. You know, get some congenital heart disease or something. You'd be good. Just dip out. Like, you're fine. They're like, oh, he's fat. Let him leave.
Service should war break out. In other words, just get fat. You see war coming, just get really, really fat.
Just get a little
Women
chubby,
may
bruh.
volunteer for military service,
Can't
but
climb
cannot
the
be
wall.
compelled to serve under Germany's constitution. That's discriminatory, actually. Sorry, the way I see it is no conscription, no vote. Well, the plan is for voluntary service if the security situation worsens, or if too few volunteers came forward, a form of compulsory military service could be considered. When was the last time Germany did that? When was the last time? You know, it escapes me. I can't remember.
Yeah, you know what's really effed up too? They're doing that here in America. Guys, we're gonna have a draft again. These people think they can do whatever they want with us. They think that they own us as a commodity on the world stage. That's how they treat us. Look at the prices of everything. Look at the lives we live. We are slaves to the system and to the multinational corporations that rule over us. But we have to provide our own health care. We have to provide our own housing. Provide our own food. What the fuck is wrong with this system, guys? We're all just a bunch of slaves in the system. Another brick in the wall.
Was approved by Parliament, many young people joined protests against the change. Which is completely fair. Because the way I see it, no institution, person, blah, 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 has any right to force you to go and die in its name.
Yeah, go kill somebody for me.
It should be completely voluntary.
What?
If you want to go and do that, whatever, you can go die in a
Stay home and
ditch
run
for
blind.
the New World Order, or whatever the hell it is you want to fucking call it. Right, you can go and do that voluntarily if you want. As soon as you're doing forced conscription,
right,
like
we have a
you're
problem.
basically, that's slavery. You know, when you force someone to do something against their will, especially if it's to go and die for you or putting them in dangerous situations, that's slavery. Yep. I've always said if it comes out over here, whenever they turn up at my door and they pure go, you know, basically, Palatine Anterior is fell, Gorgon Bars fell, Bab Bastions fell, we're all pulling back to be on the Palatine Wall and everything like that, and you're being conscripted, here's your last rifle. I'm going to say the very first thing that I am going to do when I get on that battlefield is shoot my commander in the fucking head, surrender to the other side, and I'm going to tell them everything.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fucking crazy. Look at his honesty in his eyes. But for real, why do you think they have all of these, like, Muslim invaders, as they're called, right? All of these refugees that moved into the UK and all of the EU? Because that is a cheap, free force, a military that they can mobilize and just send off as cannon fodder, front lines, use and abuse, turn them and burn them. They're not going to be assimilated into society. No, they're just like tricking them into like feeling comfortable right now. Oh, it's okay, we'll go along with your bullshit. But then like when war happens, they're just going to like come in, grab all these guys, throw them onto buses, put a uniform on their back, and make them fight for it. And like, you know what? Eventually some of them will make it through to the other side and they'll become true citizens because of it. They'll have earned their stripes, as they say. But like... Don't get confused. Like, there's a reason they did that, and that's just free, cheap warrior labor.
Right, put me in jail until the war's fucking over. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not going to die in a ditch for fucking Keir Starmer. No fucking chance. But anyway,
chance.
We don't want to spend half a year of our lives locked up in barracks, being trained in drill and obedience and learning to kill, one organizer wrote on social media. Like other European countries, Germany ran down its armed forces during the peacetime years of the 1990s.
Of course it had to be Germany, right?
Had an army of almost
it's not France doing this.
Compulsory military service in Germany was ended in 2011 under then Chancellor Angela Merkel. Chancellor Friedrich Merz has pledged to rebuild the Bundeswehr into Europe's strongest conventional army. Again,
you know, I wish they say stuff like Bundeswehr. They put in parentheses like the translation of what it like means literally. Like I understand that it's some kind of, you know, branch of the army or whatnot, but like, what does Bundeswehr mean? Like, what is the direct translation? what type of like unit is it?
In response to what his government describes as a more dangerous security environment in Europe. And this is basically in regards to the Russia war. Now, everybody, I don't know if everybody's drank the Kool-Aid and they think that Putin's going to start like steamrolling his way into Europe. I seriously doubt that that is going to happen. Seriously doubt. I believe his focus is specifically on Ukraine. Now, I don't usually talk about that type of shit because it's just states doing state things. And see if you watch places that aren't full of propaganda, because like I've said, during war, everyone lies. Everyone lies. You know, as Magnus said, often, and with good reason. Right, I'm sorry, I'm on the third last book of the Horus Heresy, and it's kind of taken over my psyche a little bit. Right, but basically, in regards to the war, and everyone, like, Putin didn't just go into Ukraine just for funsies. Right, we were building chemical labs right on the border where we're going to bring Ukraine into NATO, where we're doing all types of shit at the fucking border, so Russia for ages and ages and ages.
Not only were there chemical labs on the border, there were like all sorts of like dark money research labs as far as tech is concerned, doing all sorts of inhumane human experimenting. A lot of these children around the world that go missing, they would wind up there, they were found there. Really creepy stuff, guys. Ukraine was not a good place. A lot of prostitution, a lot of human trafficking, a lot of chemical warfare being developed, and then a whole bunch of farms that were supplying Europe with a bunch of food. And if you're like, you know, right next door, you don't want this shit happening, of course you're going to go in there, you're going to cause a ruckus, you're going to make them stop to some degree, you know? Ukraine was not a cool place. That was like some James Bond level bad guy shit. If that's where you went, if you were like an evil billionaire trying to do some crazy shit. Come on now. Don't be dumb, people.
Like, stop,
Wake up.
stop, and we fucking didn't.
Be the real
When I say
woke.
we, I mostly mean America. It was America doing a lot of that shit. And basically Putin went, okay, and just went the fuck in there. Right? Now, it seems to be the issue is with Ukraine itself. It doesn't seem to be with any other nation in Europe, although I imagine Russia's a little bit sore over all the nations in Europe giving so much aid to Ukraine.
No,
but
I don't think Russia's sore about that at all. I think that's why Russia is not like laying down the hammer on these guys. Like, it's a war of attrition. He's just causing all of these other countries to send hundreds of millions and billions of dollars to just be stripped away and disappear into thin air. You know, like if he really wanted to, he could roll over Ukraine. I'm sure of it. But he doesn't want that. He wants to just cause the West to just spend money, lose confidence with their people. You know, why are you sending all this money over there? Just like we are, like, why are you sending all this money to Israel? You know, it's same shit.
The state's doing state things. It's fucking rich people sending poor people to go and die in their name. I'm not the biggest fan of war.
Yeah, why don't presidents fight the war?
Right, I'm not saying that,
why do they
he
always
was
send the
completely
poor?
justified doing what he was doing.
Yeah?
I'm just saying there's only
Remember that song?
so many times you can fuck with someone before they hit you back with a slap. And when that day comes, you don't really get to act like a victim when you were provoking them so much. Again, not justifying the war, not justifying what's happening. I'm not going to justify war unless it's a last resort. And nobody was
We're peace
operating
builders,
in a
bro.
last resort paradigm, you know, in
We're not
regards
here
to
for
the
any of these
Russia-Ukraine
bullies.
conflict. Or any of the other conflicts happening in the world right now, to be perfectly honest. But basically, you cannot just
money-hungry
underrate
wealth
people and say,
hoarders.
yeah, we're going to forcibly drag you out of your home and fucking send you to the front lines. You can't fucking do that.
Right.
Right? Basically, just fuck it. Just stay in prison until the end of the war. That's what I would do. See this government, I'm not dying for it. I'm not fucking dying for it. The government hates me. The government wants me dead. That's probably why it wants to send me to the front line and everything. Like, one of the things that's funny as well, I've heard someone say is, but if conscription happens and we go to war, it means all the migrants and everyone coming over here, they're all going to get conscripted too, and they're all going to help us fight.
It is.
Yeah? Good luck with that.
No, I think they're going to. They're going to
closest
create
resort to
almost like
Disney
a
become a
French
lawless
Foreign
land?
Legion.
where people still live.
They're going to make a French Foreign Legion of sorts, but like a European Foreign Legion. You know what I mean? Earn your citizenship. Earn your right to, you know, there's everyday life in Europe and the UK. The United States is not doing that, which is odd. Imagine if they gave all these like gangsters and everybody a choice instead of getting sent off to El Salvador. Like, join this special branch of the military where it's just a bunch of crazy thugs that know how to use guns and are bad motherfuckers at the end of the day who really care about their families. Like, you know, they're people too. You got to remember that. Imagine if we were just able to take them and like conscript them and like make just like this elite force of just like former cartel members who wanted to get out of it, I'm sure. Dude, that would have been badass. But of course, we got to do it the inhumane way and just, you know, tear apart families and all that and just hurt people. Like, yeah, I don't agree with being here illegally and crossing the border. That's not cool. I can't do that anywhere in the world either. But, like, imagine if there was a way that we could just say, hey, we're civilized enough to say, like, give you a chance. Here's your path, or you go home. Like, if they're not, like, a violent criminal already, like, killing Americans, like, or, you know, sexual assault, stuff like that. Obviously, those are exceptions. But, like, people that just came across illegally and are just working jobs and stuff, like, put them into the military. Why not? You know? Make it just an elite unit of some badass motherfuckers. I know we've done it with Afghanis. We've done it with Iraqis. You know, we did it with Vietnamese people. There were Japanese people that helped us during World War II. Like, that's a great idea. I just think we could have gone about this a completely different way. It just, like, bolstered our national defense at the same time. And again, we shouldn't be going out and just bombing indiscriminately across Persia. I mean, Iran. Yeah, you know, we got to get rid of those people, you know, and free the Persians, of course. But we could have had a serious boost to our defense system. I don't know. Yeah, you guys go back to that video, hit him with a like, hit me with a like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. You guys know the drill. I'm out of here. I'll be here in a couple minutes. Just got to hit the restroom, check out my pizza.